awful. He's the worst of the worst. See, this is what they do. When they get cornered intellectually, they just go to plan B, which is to obstruct the conversation by being argumentative. Okay? That's exactly what Jim Majors did. There we go. There we go. There goes Jim Majors off the bridge. Now, by the way, he also lies. Like, he endorsed the book "There Is No God" by Armin, what's his name? Okay, he endorsed the book.
Navabi.
Yeah, and I said, do you still endorse that book? Oh no, because he knew I was going to bring something up from the book, and he didn't want to have to defend the book. Then I asked him yesterday, do you accept extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence? He goes, no, which that was a lie. Okay. Every atheist that I've encountered accepts that statement. But he knew that I had a hammer to drop on that, and he didn't want to grant me dropping the hammer, so he denied accepting it. So Jim Majors is a deceitful person. Oh, that's right. All atheists are deceitful.
But it's not like that stopped you. I mean, you just kept going right along even after that.
Well, I wanted to expose the fraud that he is. He's an absolute sham and a fraud. Okay. He wants to claim that he's intellectual. You see, he wants to, yeah, he's a dumpster fire. That's very, very good. That's exactly what Jim Majors is. He wants to pretend like he's intellectual. Did anybody pick up from the interaction yesterday that he was a serious player? Okay. He tried to say, you're not answering my question. Good. Ask me questions. Go ahead. What about unicorns? Oh, I answered it. Any other questions? No. Okay, good. Now let's answer my questions.
What was the question you asked right before he had the complete breakdown?
I don't remember. What they do, listen, when they get intellectually cornered, that's when they try to obfuscate. They try to move the goalposts. They try to change the parameters of the questions. Or they'll throw out, he'll go, stop straw manning me. I said, I didn't straw man you. You know? I mean, just the guy was worse than snotty 14-year-olds on Discord. That's how bad this guy is. And yet, tomorrow he's going to appear on the he'll appear tomorrow and be treated like a prince on the Atheist morning show on YouTube. Okay, you guys can watch that tomorrow, and if you're not up early enough, just go onto YouTube and search for it, and he'll be treated like he's royalty. Right?
I am very surprised you were able to maintain your composure during that debate. You were very cordial all the way through, and I was in shock at that.
Well, that's because he doesn't have this unlimited ability just simply to overtalk me. Okay, where they pull this crap. See, that's why I got irritated with him, because he was behaving like an animal when I was debating him on the Modern Day Debate Show. Right? This is the shtick that they do. Is when they get cornered, they start to be argumentative or change the subject. Every single one of my interlocutors does this. They all do it. Okay? The only person that didn't do it, obviously, was Randall Richardson from Canadian Atheists. Right? He was cordial. He didn't overtly obstruct the conversation, and he didn't resort to being, quote, argumentative. But what he did resort to was monologuing, but not really addressing my question. If you watch that debate, in spite of how cordial he was, and I appreciate that, and I told him that, he just monologued and really did not address my questions. You see, if they address my questions, they're done.
Yeah, Randolph Richardson debate was actually pretty fun to watch. It was on Math Pig's channel, from what I remember.
But if you look at his responses were not genuine. They were just boilerplate responses that almost bore no resemblance to the question. It's very obvious that, he was just back.
I also thought Shannon Q conducted herself relatively.
What are you smoking crack?
No, I mean Shannon Q.
Are you high right now? Put down the bong.
Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. This discussion has...
Step away from the bong.
Why does this...
She was a pig. She was a scumbag. She was borderline slandering and defaming me by accusing me of all sorts of psychological malfeasance and manipulativeness. All I was doing was asking legitimate philosophical questions. She wasn't cordial. She was a...
You just took the bait. Canadian Catholic knows how you react to that statement, and that's why he made the statement.
Is that correct, Canadian Catholic? Is that correct?
Yeah. Don't listen to trolls. They're just here to troll.
Goose is not a troll.
Well, he has accused me. He has accused me of being a Muslim in the past.
Yeah, you're a delusional young man. She was not cordial. She was a sleazebag, and I told her to her face.
When have I ever?
I said, watch the interaction again. I told her you're being sleazy. She accused me of being psychologically manipulative. Okay. Yeah, I wasn't trying to trick her. Was I asking questions to box her in order to show the incoherency of their atheism? Yes, but that's what is called legitimate debate. Okay. She's not a nice person. Okay. She's sleazy.
Yeah. I've personally discussed with Shannon myself on several occasions, and I still think that compared to
you're a fool. Of course she's going to be polite to you because you don't ask the right sort of questions. Did you know? Did you listen to my interaction with Jim, the left testicle majors, yesterday?
Yeah, I was here.
Did you hear him screaming as though somebody were squeezing his right testicle, saying, "You bring out the worst in people"? Yeah. He's right. I do bring out the worst because I ask the questions that they don't want to answer.
Yeah, it's about the unicorns and stuff, right? How can you prove unicorns don't exist? Yeah. But the thing is,
you got to listen. You have very little discernment, and you're operating on fumes when it comes to critical thinking skills, as usual. By the way, did you get my DM?
Your DM? I haven't.
Yeah, I sent you.
I'm gonna get to it now. I haven't checked it, but.
Yeah, don't mention the content. Okay.
Okay, no worries.
But this is not the first time you and Canadian Catholic have discussed.
That's okay. You see, you lied to me. You told me that something was going to be taken care of, and you didn't. Either you didn't do it or you rescinded it.
I'll explain to you later in the private.
No, there's no effing explanation. You lied to me. You're a liar. You told me that it would be taken care of, and you know what I mean by that, don't you?
I just checked it.
Did you tell me that something was going to be done?
Yeah, it was done.
Did you do it?
I mean, once, yeah.
Then why was the situation still there if you did it?
I don't know if
who changed the situation. Was it you?
It's a long story, right?
I want a straight answer. It's not a long story. You told me, you made a commitment to me. You told me that something would be implemented. Did you actually implement it?
I did, but
Good. Did you rescind the implementation?
In a way.
Good. So you lied to me. Get the fuck out of here.
No.
You piece of trash. Excuse my French. I shouldn't talk like that. I apologize. Lying piece of trash. Get out of here. You're not welcome.
People know that if you lie to you, they are going to get banned. Why do they do this?
He's a damn liar. And he's a
Oh,
flip
Can I have some
flopper.
context of what happened? I just joined.
No.
No.
No,
also,
this is a private matter between him and
Oh.
me. By the way, this isn't the first time that he's BS'd and lied about stuff. He wanted something from me, and I said fine, and I said good. Then I want this in return. It was a very simple quid pro quo. Very very simple. Okay, it was nothing unreasonable and something that was very easy to do. Okay, little click of a button. That's it. And he lied to me. Okay. He wants me to appear regularly on his server. And I said, good. Then you have to do something on your server. Okay. And he lied to me. And then he goes, oh, it's complicated. He's a damn liar. Okay. Trust me, there's no mistaken information here. He lied. And he also double crossed me. Right.
but the reason I brought up what I did is because I have heard you and him have the Shannon Q discussion in the past.
He's a
So I knew
bonehead.
he
He
was
flips and
baiting.
he flop. He flips and he flops. I told you not to come back.
Well, on other news, Bernie Sanders.
No,
backed out.
honestly, I don't get why people think any Catholic is Christian because when I listen to him talk, he backs up atheists more than he does Christians.
I've had problems in the past with Catholics or perceived Catholics doing the same thing.
They have more in common with atheists, like in all honesty. That's what they come off as.
Yeah, I love how these bot commands don't work. Total waste of time.
Hey, Darth, what are your thoughts on the virus?
I think it'll be over soon.
Hopefully, this is the last extension.
All of the
And this
projections
month.
have been pretty much wrong.
Looks like we were right, Darth. After a month or two, looks like it's starting to subside.
And now the Chinese need to be severely punished. We need to make it so that no American businesses do manufacturing in China. Again, look what they put our country through.
And the rest of the world, I totally agree.
China deliberately has been lying to the rest of the world about what was going on. They didn't warn other countries that were susceptible to this problem, like the United States. They didn't care. They're a bunch of commie liars, and now it's payback. Okay?
I think every nation, if they know what's good for them, need to drop sanctions on them.
Well, they've already moved most of their operational work over to Africa. It's actually people don't know about a lot of people don't know about this, but the billions and billions of dollars and the amount that they've shifted their infrastructure over to Africa and manufacturing there is absolutely crazy. I mean, they basically they have like major loans out to pretty much every country in Africa.
We need to stick it to China, and Trump's the man to do it. Look what they did to the world's economy. Okay?
Yeah. He did negotiate a deal with them recently that I think was favorable to us.
Oh, by the way, also they're in cahoots. Excuse me, I'm eating a chip. They're in cahoots with the World Health Organization, except including that flunky who they either have something on or paying him off. He's a crooked.
Yeah, how shocking.
Well, for those of you who are concerned about overpopulation, come November 4th or 5th on election night, there's going to be mass suicides because Trump's reelected, so there'll be fewer people on the planet.
I hope you're right. That'll be so awesome.
You know, somehow they're gonna find a way that this entire thing was Trump's fault, like from the whole virus.
They're already doing it.
Look, you don't understand, okay? The reason why Adam and Eve ate the fruit is because it's Trump's fault. Orange man bad.
Yep. Everything is Trump's fault. Even World
You know why
War II
Satan
was-
rebelled? You know why Satan rebelled? Because he got it from Donald Trump. Orange man bad.
Yeah. It
I
was
love
Trump's
that.
fault World War II happened. And no, both World Wars.
Yeah.
World War III haven't even happened, and it's going to be his fault.
Go on to Gateway Pundit or Breitbart. There's an article on there where Chris Cuomo has been caught selectively editing what Donald Trump says to misrepresent it and then to attack him. This is what scumbags these people are.
Yep.
One thing I like about them is they've started becoming anti-natalists, so we don't have to worry about them having children.
Canadian Catholic, what don't you understand about English? Okay, speaking English, Canadian Catholic, get out of my room, you lying piece of trash.
Why does he keep coming in if he knows you don't want him in here?
He's a punk.
Is he just trolling?
I don't think
Look.
he's a troll. He just wants everybody to like
No,
him. That's my personal opinion.
He made a commitment to me to take care of a situation. Okay, and that he knows that the situation in consideration is a total TOS violation. Okay, it's a violation of all social standards, legal standards. Okay, and he told me that he would take care of it. Okay, as the owner of the server. Okay, and he made an agreement with me. I said, you want me to visit your server from time to time? I said, then you got to stop this TOS violation. It was one in particular. And it was one that's not really controversial. Because he's a feckless, spineless, butt-kissing little punk, okay, he decides to tell me one thing, and then behind my back, F you, demolishing.
The atheists were attacking him the other day.
You mean his buddies, his friends, his close buddies?
No, the Jack Inchek who were attacking him, claiming that he was a Darth butt kisser.
That's what I'm saying, man. You try to please everyone, then you please no one.
Yeah, Dr. Fauci and his failed predictions. He has a long history.
How shocking.
He first stated that the coronavirus would have little impact. Then he changed his tune and he said upwards of millions and millions of people would be affected, hundreds of thousands would die. So he goes from one wrong prediction to another wrong prediction. Why Trump still has him up there, I don't know. I would have gotten rid of that guy.
Even the reported deaths so far still don't compare.
The people who are dying for the most part are people who have serious medical problems. Now, occasionally you have people who don't have serious medical problems who die, but that happens there are people who get a splinter and die from it.
It sounds very much like maybe a pretty bad one, but like a normal flu, like when we had H1N1, we had swine flu. Like, I mean, it seems though like this is kind of an emergency drill almost our country's been put through.
Look, I don't fault the various states and the federal government being precautionary, because potentially it could have been far worse than what it is right now. That's fine, okay, but Now, if the Democrats had not been distracting Trump with impeachment, which was unconstitutional, maybe if the Intelligence Committee had been looking up to the situation of the outbreak of China, that it could spread to other countries. But no, they were all concerned about their malfeasance and their dirty politics and their unconstitutional hatred of Trump to get rid of him, right?
It has to be against their duties that they when they swear into office to put.
They're scum. They are scum. They are listen. I don't mind being partisan in this case. They are the party of Satan. These people are demonic.
Already doing it.
I don't
Look, you
understand
don't
how anyone who's
understand,
Christian can vote
okay?
Democratic. I really don't.
The
Now they're
reason why
pushing
Adam
abortion,
and Eve ate the
trying to
fruit
get
is
taxpayers
because it's
to pay
Trump's.
for abortion in the bill for Corona.
They've been
If
pushing
somebody
abortion.
if somebody tells me they're a Bible believing Christian and they vote for Democrats, then I don't believe they're a Christian.
Yeah, it's hard for excuse me. It's hard for me to believe that you can know that people are legally justifying the killing of babies in the womb, and think that's consistent with your beliefs. You cannot be a Christian. You just can't be. I'm sorry.
Yeah, unfortunately, half the Republican Party is pretty much just as bad. Like you can throw them almost in the same camp as the Democrats.
Okay, could I ask everybody a favor in this room?
Mm-hmm.
I'd like everybody who's listening to me to contribute $5 to a worthy cause. I'm trying to do some crowdfunding so we can collect enough money to buy a toupee for Skylar Fiction so he stops wearing that stupid cabbie hat.
You watching them debate debate Veco right now?
No, Skylar Fiction is an odious person. I can't stand him.
Yeah, he's not an honest guy. Yeah. Yo, Darth, you still there?
Yeah.
You notice who's up above you?
Give me 1 second. I guess you want to get banned. Okay, have it your way. We'll give him the Burger King treatment.
I don't know why he keeps doing this.
I remember speaking to him a little while ago once. I never quite understood why he switched to being Catholic from Protestant. I never quite got the reasoning behind that.
I thought he switched from an atheist Catholic.
I
didn't know anything about him being a Protestant.
I guess he was like raised, and then he was raised.
Oh yeah, that.
Yeah.
I think he said he was raised so-called Christian, and then he went to be an atheist, and then
quote-unquote inner circle atheist.
Yeah, exactly.
Inner circle.
Yeah, he called himself an inner circle atheist, whatever that's supposed to mean.
Where did you hear that?
It was I saw him on a YouTube video where he was on the Atheist Experience, and he described his views in the past, and he called himself an inner circle atheist at the time. I think he was talking to Matt Dillahunty. I can try to find the video and link it.
I haven't the slightest clue what that is even supposed to mean. Inner circle atheism.
I think I found it. One sec. All right, demolishing. Here you go.
Supreme Leader, temporal attack. Is that time stamped?
No, it's not timestamped, but he said
All right,
something at the very beginning.
Okay, good. I'll listen to it right now.
We go next.
Let's go Canadian Catholic.
Oh boy. I don't know if she was going to say that. Canadian Catholic, welcome back to the show. How are you?
Hi, it's an honor to be back, both you, Jenna, and Matt.
Hi.
Very nice hosts.
Awesome.
So what have you got for today?
Sorry. So here's what I would like to say. You know, both of you are ex-Christians who became atheists.
Mm-hmm.
And I was in the same boat,
ironically,
and I
trying
like
to be
to say
too
I'm
passive
kind of one
to
step ahead of
everybody
you now.
ends up biting you in the butt.
Yes, I'm aware of that. And we had this is what got us off on the wrong foot last week, because I'm not convinced that we were in the same boat, nor am I convinced that you're a step ahead of us. But go right ahead.
Okay, so you know my story. I deconverted from being a committed Christian. It was a more of a fundamentalist form. And I became a full-blown atheist, an inner circle atheist. I was into it. I was reading books.
Yeah.
I still talk with David Silverman, you know, people like that.
Do you think that that's what makes you an
I
atheist?
don't like it when people.
No, I like believe.
I don't.
Okay,
I don't know. I still don't know what an inner circle atheist
Saying
is.
that they feel
And
this
I will.
way
I
about
will
one
ask
thing
you
and
to not
about
mention
another
David
thing
Silverman
and
again
the
for
next
fear that I will say something about that piece of
or
shit.
rather the same thing.
Excuse me.
They feel
He
this way
said-
about one thing.
I just started playing it. And Matt the Lebloviator says, Canadian Catholic, welcome to the show. And he says to Matt the Lebloviator, okay,
He says to him what? Can anybody hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
oh, I
He
said,
said to him what?
it's an honor to be back on your show. It's an honor to be on with Matt the Lebloviator. An honor.
You see what I mean? He just wants to get everybody to like him. Because I'm not even saying he's a mean person. He just wants to get everybody to like him, and that just that has a bad effect on his choices.
Yeah, that would be my first thought of him, but
Also,
honestly,
to be fair, his voice, the way he talks, is very annoying.
yeah, I can see that. Yeah, but Tarnock, like you, excuse me, like you said, that would be my first view about him. But when I hear him say things like inner circle atheist, it just makes me not want to take him seriously, or it makes me wonder if he's just trolling, if this is some kind of facade.
Because if
So inner
this
circle
is
atheist
him
basically is a
trolling,
colloquial
it's
term that
genius.
for someone who was, in the inner circle who understood inner workings of atheism. It's just a colloquial I use.
Okay, what are the inner workings of atheism? Because my view, and you'll have to forgive me because I'm only the guy who's been doing this show for 15 years and has been, running around on stage with, Dawkins and Harris and everybody else. I'm not aware of any inner workings of atheism. Atheism is simply the position of not being convinced that a God exists.
Oh, sure. I agree with that. I just meant, there are atheists who become atheists when they're disappointed with their church, and there are atheists who become atheists because of logical reasons and who make a conscious decision that there is little evidence for God. That's the camp I belong to. I consciously became an atheist.
Right.
Okay.
And I agree that there are atheists who become atheists for bad reasons and atheists who become atheists for good reasons. But what that seems to suggest is that you've found good reasons to believe in a God now.
Yes, but I don't want to pursue that line where we just go into preponderance of evidence. I would just like to concentrate on one point on how my view has changed and maybe hear your view on what's your view.
Okay.
Okay. So
Matt the Lebloviator said atheism is simply not being convinced that God exists. Now, does anybody think that he's being truthful when he says that?
No, I think he's trying to, give off the impression that he's sort of neutral.
I mean, does anybody think he's neutral toward the existence of God?
Definitely not.
I mean, he's just not convinced there's a God?
Yeah, he knows that
Really?
this ain't the case. Ozymandias
Then why
says-
why the hell are you doing this TV show for 15 years if you're just merely? By the way, is there anybody who does lacking belief in aliens show for 15 years? Well, I'm just not convinced they're aliens. I'm not saying they're not aliens. I'm just not convinced they're aliens. Would somebody be doing a TV show every week for 15 years if they were just simply not convinced? I mean, this guy is a pathological liar.
You may want to expand the definition so basically everyone listening falls under the umbrella of his position. You may want to be trying to reach it. Do you know what I mean? On this side, we have people who are everything except for diehard believers, and then you have he may just be trying to appeal himself to a larger audience.
He's been in conversations with Ozymandias about atheism. Knowing what Ozymandias has stated on the subject, why would he continue to peddle the nonsense that is simply not being convinced?
He's just trying to pull people to his side on the argument by reaching people who may be agnostic or people who may have doubt by trying to seem like he's representing the side that's the most broad and least assumptive. I think he's trying to give does that make sense?
Yeah.
Maybe he's an inner circle atheist.
So what is an inner circle atheist?
We don't know. It's just something that Canadian Catholic.
No,
a number of different things.
Yeah, I was just taking a jab at Matt.
By the way, if you want to see something really amusing, go onto YouTube, type in atheism, hit return, then go to filters, then hit lot. No, you know what? Here. Now, you remember when I say Shannon Q duck lips all the time?
Yeah.
There you go.
And who knows, his ways are above our ways and all that bullshit.
Yeah.
But their theology says that that's what the reality is. Because Ted prayed the sinner's prayer, and Anne is a poor little Jewish girl who never met Jesus. Sadly didn't. Bless her heart. It's just unfortunate, but these are the rules.
Right. And I don't think a lot of people think about the fact that you need immediate absolution as well based on the criteria. So you could accidentally forget to ask forgiveness before you go to bed at night after living a godly night. It could be a godly life. It could be the one night that you say, please Jesus, forgive me for all my sins before you go to bed. And you could pass away in your sleep and have done that every night up until that point, and you go to hell based on those rules.
Yeah, and they also created this thing called the age of accountability for children, because the idea of God sending innocent children to hell before they'd had the chance to repent of their
That laugh.
Is this guy giving his deconversion story or something?
Oh, who knows? But I've just figured out that Canadian Catholic, his birth father is James Coons.
Wow.
That's tongue in cheek. Do I think that atheists who have kids should be allowed to keep them? Yes. When the kids grow up and become teenagers and young adults, they'll realize how stupid their parents' atheism was. See, the funny thing is, Canadian Catholic, no matter how much I get, speak of the devil, no matter how much I reprimand him, he's simply clueless about his nature. Same thing with James Coons. James Coons is simply willfully oblivious to what a vacillating, feckless, spineless jellyfish he is.
That's another dude, I think. Well, I don't even think it's about him getting to like everyone. He's not trying to get everybody to like him. I think he's just trying to get all the atheists to like him.
Why is it that I get muted and I get reprimanded, but the atheists have the worst behavior and he never steps in ever?
And he's trying to put on this pretense that he's a fair moderator, but he's being overly unfair to the
No,
Christians.
he's not fair. He's not fair.
They're trying to make it look like he's not letting his Christian bias get in the way. He's extra unfair to the Christian. And I wonder if the guy's even a Christian at that.
And he seems to me to be trying to figure out how to have the right position, if that makes sense.
You think he's what?
Trying to figure out how to have the right position, in any given, how to have the right perspective or right position. But I mean, it's if you look at it that way, you tend to end up just kind of giving in to whatever the people there at any given moment are thinking. Gareth, do you think he fully understands the issue? with like not following through.
Who? Oh, does
Um,
he? Yeah, yeah. But he's so used to being duplicitous that he doesn't. Tom, take a look at Atheist Helpline text.
Shannon Q. Are you talking about the lips?
There she is.
Yeah, what's with the... Yeah, she really stacked on the dang lipstick, didn't she? Goodness gracious.
Tom, that's photoshopped.
Wait a minute, you did that?
Yes.
Oh, never mind. I thought that was actual makeup. That's a damn good Photoshop job. Wow.
But the funny thing is it's only enlarged slightly.
I thought that was her with just more makeup.
Yeah, these people aren't really interested in cogently and coherently defending their atheism. Right? They're total fraud. They're frauds, fakes, and phonies. All they're interested in is just propagandizing for their atheism. Okay? I go onto live hangouts and I invite atheists to come on. I say, come on in. Any atheist who's not a stalker or a troll, you can come in. Do they do that? No, they don't.
Hey, Duncan, really quick, if somebody's trying to justify white lies as not a big deal, is there a Bible verse for me to hammer them on that?
White lies?
Thou shalt not commit false witness.
No. Well, I think there's a difference between giving a diplomatic response and a white lie, Like, for example, if Shannon Q said, does this lipstick make my lips look big? I would say, well, if it quacks like a duck.
Wow. Yo, Darth, you there still?
I
If they just say that they want to be convinced that God exists, do you think they're lying, ignorant, or it just depends on the person?
think they know they're lying. I don't have any doubts about that. They've made up in their mind that God doesn't exist. So when they say they're willing to be convinced, they know that because they've already decided God doesn't exist, that no evidence could indicate that. And philosophically, that's the case. You can't conclude that one fact is not indicative of God while trying to be open to a new fact. That's just not correct.
Yeah. I'm just saying, is there no possibility they just simply haven't thought about it on a deeper level and they just don't know that follows?
What does Romans 1 say?
They suppress the truth and unrighteousness. So if you say that to them and then they say, well, I didn't realize I was doing that, then if they say that, then you said they're lying, or rather you just expose the fact that they are actually doing that and they just can't cover
Look,
it up.
it's really simple. Okay, just because somebody holds the cognitive dissonance where they are without referencing God in their daily life, facts don't reference God, and then they say, but you know what? I'm willing to change my mind. No, well, you're not. Okay, because either all facts indicate God or no facts indicate God. Okay. The issue isn't the facts, it's what the person wants to decide.
Yeah, that does make perfect sense, man, that you really can't have any new facts introduced to be evidence for it. It wouldn't make any sense. You can't have an inconsistency of facts. Some facts might, while other facts don't. It doesn't make any rational sense.
You know,
Duncan.
Van Til said, all facts are created facts. So either all facts are indicative of God or no facts.
Because in a world like that, there will be multiple ultimates, which is logically impossible.
Duncan, go look at Gateway Pundit. You're gonna laugh.
All right, I'll go there right now.
They got them trying to.
Let me.
They're trying. Okay, go
let me
ahead.
look it up on my iPad and my formerly nicotine-stained fingers.
Oh my god, that's hilarious. They have a document showing that they're telling him to mark it as COVID-19 if they die. Oh my goodness.
What am I looking for? What am I looking for?
Look at the article that says huge Minnesota senator and doctor reveals HHS document coached him on how to overcount COVID-19 cases with copy of document.
Wow.
That's messed up, bro. They want it to be worse than it is. That's so fricked up. Democrats are brutal, man. This is so bad.
Wait a minute. Repeat that, please.
Just go to Gateway Pundit. It's the top story. Gatewaypundit.com.
.com.
Okay.
thegatewaypundit.com. That's pathetic.
Who were the senators? Like, what
Are you
party?
there right now? He posted Atheist Helpline.
Yeah,
I'm in the middle of
What
something.
party were the senators that like bet on the market on COVID right before? Like, do you remember that? Did you see that? Like, they basically took out all their money from the stock market right before, like.
Dr. Fauci's wife donated $1,200 to Hillary Clinton's presidential campaign.
Well, I'm not shocked.
Did you see Dr. Fauci? You know that reporter that argued with Trump a couple of days ago? Like, really bad argument. And then when they're leaving, he looks at that reporter and does like the gun salute, like he's like, good job type of thing. It's ridiculous.
Could you repeat that again?
There was a video I saw where Trump and this reporter were arguing, right? During their, you know how he does the debriefings and stuff of the coronavirus stuff. And when they were leaving, Dr. Fauci was the last guy, and he points at the guy and does like the gun salute thing, like, you know, when you make a gun with your hand, and he goes like this and winks at him, like he did a good job. It's disgusting.
Well, I hope Trump sees that and fires his ass.
Well, that's the thing, though. You can't just fire them either, right? Because if he fires them, then this guy's going to go leaking stuff saying Trump said this, Trump said that, you know, and it's just a mess. Like, you can't trust anyone, man. There's so many snakes around him. It's ridiculous.
When you're talking about politics, there always is.
No, there's snakes everywhere in life, not just politics.
You right? You meet snakes in your everyday life. Just takes time to guess, to know, or not guess. This takes time to know if they are. And usually they will reveal if they are a snake or not.
Yep.
Some are really good at hiding it, though.
So, Darth, given the fact that their hearts are set on not one God to exist, what's the point of showing them?
The point is to reveal the underlying problem. The problem is not evidence. The problem is they're in rebellion, and their claim to not having apprehension of evidence for God is simply their own psychological, spiritual subterfuge.
Yeah, because it feels like it'll be showing something that they already know.
That will go against Skylar tonight on MDD.
Well, you missed it. We were having crowdfunding, asking everybody to chip in $5 so we could buy Skylar a toupee so he doesn't have to wear those stupid cabbie caps.
Never seen him without him.
Well, it's not about the cap, it's how you wear it. Like, what's his face wears it too? Vocab Malone, he wears one of those. But he doesn't look like a total idiot, though.
What I really don't understand about the argument with regards to rationality is how can you explain rationality and logic and how they came to be using rationality and logic? Because if you're using rationality and logic, then to like
no, we will implicitly grant the grounds for rationality, okay? But that's not the issue. The issue is how does their model of reality account for it?
Yeah, that's my point, is that they grant that there's reality, that there's logic, that all of this exists, and you ask where all this rationality and logic comes from and what it's based on, what created it, and their answer is they try to use rationality and logic to say why you're wrong, that there's God, which doesn't make sense, because how could,
Well,
like,
they're presupposing that the ground of all being that they're speaking from provides for rationality, and that's what we need to.
Exactly, and but then they try and say what that probably is. Like, they try to they're like, "Well, probably it's not God. Probably that." It doesn't, like, it's not rational to assume it's God. Like, it does that in and of itself makes no sense at all, that you could make any claims like that.
Hey, Tonlock, did you see Project Plus, the trailer for it? It's like the new Project M type deal.
Oh no, I did not.
It's pretty interesting. It's basically like they're just rebuilding Project M, or they're just basically like reviving the idea.
Yeah, I gotta take a look at that.
Yeah, they're even adding in new characters. Knuckles is in, I think.
Oh man, that should be, yeah, that should be sick, man.
Hmm.
Wonder wonder what type of moves they're gonna give him. Definitely stuff that's gonna be. I wonder if they're gonna give him moves with like armor and stuff. That'll be
Super
interesting.
armor? Probably.
Yeah.
I think he would deserve it as a character. I think it's already released. I just haven't gotten around to like getting it for my emulator. Just not that interested in like doing it because I don't know, Project M for me is fine at the moment.
Is that the one you play most of the time or mainly?
Yeah, for now. I don't really play Smash Ultimate because it's just boring. It's not like as fast paced as PM is. Plus, you can't like shine like you can. Or Fox doesn't have his insane shine like he does in PM and shit like that. I don't know. I still need to get it.
That game doesn't have a nice speed to it.
Oh, it's Smash Ultimate.
No, Project M.
Oh yeah. Well, it's basically it was made to be exactly like Melee, just because
Yeah.
Brawl was not at all competitive game. A lot of people think that was intentionally not like made as a pro game, which I can kind of agree with because it's really really slow. It really rewards campy gameplay, and if you like dash dance too fast, you just
Yeah. I think Brawl's trash in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with you. Just I don't know what they were thinking. I mean, at the time, Nintendo was kind of they were reluctant to even let like people stream Smash. I think like just at that particular time. Then like I think around the end of Smash 4, they would kind of switch gears a little bit and allow people like they kind of became more supportive of the pro scene.
Yeah, I don't think it was their intention to go competitive anyway.
Yeah.
But Sakurai couldn't get away from the fact that it was just drawing too much attention. So
Yeah. Oh my God, Smash is still to this day one of the biggest competitive games.
Oh,
It's
absolutely.
such a different type of like fighting game. Like Mortal
Well, but I wonder if you're gonna have the same people dominating for years, like the Mewtwo Kings and the what's his face?
Mango.
The dude from Mango, and the dude from Sweden. What's his name?
Armada.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, the five gods there are M2K, Armada. Leffen's not a god, but he's still up there. Hungry Box, Mango, and I think Armada, and then PPMD.
Yeah.
Though in Smash Ultimate,
Wasn't-
those guys aren't dominant. I think
Wasn't Mewtwo
pretty much
King
the
a little
only one who
different?
plays Smash Ultimate. Yeah.
Yeah, Mewtwo King was up there for some years, and then he had kind of fell off to those other you mentioned.
Yeah. I mean, like at tournaments, Mewtwo King is. It depends really on like if the crowd's against them, then he won't really play as well. Just I don't know.